What's up guys, this is Wenzes. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal development for INFJs and how to create an epic life on your terms. Today we're talking about what we INFJs can learn from the series The Queen's Gambit. It's a huge hit, it just won so many awards during award season, but me watching this, I couldn't help but recognize us INFJs in this. I'm not saying that Beth Harmon, the leading character, is an INFJ, by no means, but she lives in her own mind, she's definitely different, and she doesn't feel like she's living out her gifts if she's playing by everybody's rules. She has to mobilize herself, go it on her own, create her own path, and through that she finds happiness in the end. I want to talk to you how this applies to INFJs, what we can learn from it, and how we can succeed going the path less traveled. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you want to take the next step in creating your INFJ epic life and you want my help with it, then work with me privately or join the Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list. All the information you find below. So let's back it up here. Why is this movie so relevant for INFJs? I'll give you a little bit of synopsis of the series. So Beth Harmon is the leading character. She's really good at chess. She finds that out at a really young age when she was in an orphanage. She then gets adopted. She goes on to high school, doesn't really make a lot of friends, and then from there on she undertakes this career as like this chess master. At the same time, she's somebody who lives constantly in her world and she tries to find her place in the world. Particularly when she's in high school, she actually learns how to succeed with that crowd, and it doesn't satisfy her at all. And isn't that like one-on-one INFJ behavior? We know what we could do in order to fit in into a certain crowd, but it would mean that we would be successful for a role we're playing, not who we really are. So Beth Harmon in this scenario completely goes off the rails, starts drinking, takes drugs, never really finds her true happiness until the point when she says, okay, I have to give it my all in my direction, in me pursuing my gifts. And this is something I want us all to understand. When I started this channel, this was far from something people considered popular. You might think, oh, it's YouTube and all of that, but being an INFJ at that time, which was 2014, by no means anything popular, by no means anything that people would look at me and say, oh, you're doing this and this is amazing. It was more of, I was showing to people that I'm weird. I was showing them that I cared about different things. For the first time, I was willing for people to see that part of me. And I've come to the conclusion that in most cases, in order for INFJs to really live out their success, to live out something they love, we have to go that way. We have to stand on our own, because the default state is that we play by society's rules. You might say, well, we INFJs don't do that. We play by our own drums, we do our own thing, we have different interests and different qualities, but in a lot of ways, we have to admit to ourselves that we are playing the observer of that world. We are playing maybe the victim in our own life, looking at society and thinking, everybody seems to have so much fun, and I just can't take part in that, because every single time I do, it feels like a waste of time. It doesn't motivate me, it doesn't excite me. And don't take this as something to be embarrassed about. We've all been there. I, to this day, don't believe that I'll ever get out of it. I don't think anybody ever does. What we do is we lean out of it. We lean into the direction we want to, because there are always levels to this. We can find our authentic gifts and our authentic voice while leaning out of that. And we do that by standing on our own. We have to find our personal gift and express it in such a way that it will mean that at first we have to do something that nobody understands, where we don't have a circle of friends that surround us. Because that's what it is. That's the difference. We're not going to play by that circle of friends that already exists, or that circle of society that might have happened outside of you just because you're born in this town or within this community. No, if we step out into who we really are, we're going to create a circle around us that represents who we are. We will create that amazing epic life that I see all of us INFJs are able to live if we're willing to go it alone. If we're willing to go in a direction and say, I will choose my passion, I will choose my gifts, and I'll do that at the expense of being popular right now. So you might say, well, we're not popular to begin with. Yeah, but try to see it from a perspective of, could I even make it more uncomfortable for people? Could I express myself even more? Could I be that different and I would show it to the the outside that maybe the people around me wouldn't understand it at all. See, Beth in the movie, she did all of those things that would make her popular with that crowd when she was in high school, but she recognized this doesn't make me happy. I will go and be a chess player. And chess playing at that time, in that scenario, was far from something popular. The kids were looking at her like, what are you doing? This is uncool. This is crazy. She didn't care. She was willing to pay that price. And I'm here to tell you, be willing to pay that price. When I started this channel and I decided to go this direction, for the first time, so many people saw that part of me, and I really lost their respect at that moment. Maybe before they thought, oh, I'm really cool. I'm like them. I'm like a really popular girl. The moment I expressed this uniqueness about me, the more people recognized, oh, okay, so she doesn't play by the rules. She's willing to go against the grain. And I'm not willing to do that because I want to stay within this field. I want to stay within this society. I don't want to stretch myself because I'm afraid of me being alone. But you as an INFJ, you can do this. This is one of our biggest strengths. I've talked about it in INFJ Survivor, that we have amazing survival skills. We can stand on our own. We can be on our own. But be careful at that scenario, because it's not the goal to be alone all your life. It's not to say, well, I'm not going to find friends, or I'm not going to find my circle, or I'm not going to be able to be successful in my chosen field. I am just destined to be the weird person who's on the outside, for whom everything is different, and I just have to be by myself, and I have to accept that. That is not the case. We don't have to stay in this by ourselves. It is exactly the opposite. We have to stand and try to connect with people through that, because staying on your own and not sharing your gift is also an act of fear. It's a way of saying, well, if I'm not trying, I cannot really fail. If I'm not even expressing myself over and over and over again, and commit that from this day on, no matter if people like it or not, I will share who I am, I will be who I am, and I'll find a way to connect with people through this. And if people don't like it, then that's on them. But if I don't bring it, if I stay closed up, then it's on me. And I'm not gonna cop out at this scenario. I'm not gonna be that one, because I can be proud of myself for taking that step. That's what makes us INFJ so unique, that we can do it. It might still be hard for us, but we have the ability to. And only if you do that, you can connect with people on such a deep level like you never thought possible. And then you can find not only your flow, which will not only help you to achieve amazing things in the world, but it will also help you to feel successful, to have absolutely everything you want. There is abundance for each and every one of us, and there's always a level up. You can grow in a certain field that is not in correspondence with who you are, meaning, let's say you stay at a job too long and don't do anything extra that will help you to bring out your personal gifts. You can grow within the scenario, but you always know you grow while you're playing a role. And then there is the personal growth, the growth that will change your life, the growth that we're all able to, and the growth that we see in that movie. You can create amazing success on all levels, on your personal success, on your career, and it can be without having to sacrifice your integrity, who you are, or having to be by yourself forever. But again, this can only happen if you're willing to say goodbye to the role that you have been playing. If you're willing for people to see this is who you are, and you're not gonna hide the fact that you are different. You're not gonna hide the fact that you have different interests, and you create an amazing life around that. For me, it was my vocation. For me, it was what I'm doing here. For me, it's connecting with you guys. It's creating that business. It's finding completely new people that are in my circle that help me to become the person I want to be. And that changed my life tremendously. Again, none of it would have happened if I wasn't willing to stand on my own and to say goodbye to everything else. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You can see it in the series as well, that Beth Harmon really struggles. She has demons, she feels alone, and we will feel that too. We've had our fair share of dark moments in our life, but these dark moments have been defining points in our life. We have made it through them. But every single time you go through something dark and you come out on the other side and you did this by yourself, you are that much stronger. You're that much more self-reliant. You need external validation that much less, and that will make the biggest difference. That is the thing to aim for. And I'm a perfect example of somebody who chose the path less traveled, who chose the path of giving up everything that I knew, who was willing to stand on her own and lose maybe any kind of popularity or any kind of success that I had built for myself within society's rules. And because of that, I'm now living what I consider my INFJ epic life. What is your personal gift? How do you want to be seen? Look at all the fear that you're facing. The fear of I'm not good enough. The fear of people are going to judge me. Look at that fear and recognize that it will not go away. It's about dancing with that fear. It's about embracing that fear. It's about taking steps that get you out of your comfort zone but don't overwhelm you. That's the place to go. And it's also a matter of I can only create this if there's a part of me where I don't let anybody dictate how I feel about myself. It's a part of me where I decide my self-image, where I decide who I want to be and what I'm going to put forward. The biggest pride I have earned in my life wasn't because I achieved something. It was because I kept the promises I made to myself. And if you start seeing yourself as somebody who is aiming to go the direction, who's aiming to bring out their gifts, who's willing to look fear into the eye and say, I'm ready for this, I can take this, and I want to see how far I can take it. If you're leaning into that portion of yourself, you will find fulfillment at a point you never thought possible. I'm so glad that we have this community. I'm so glad that we're all encouraging each other, because this isn't something that only happens to one of us. It's something that we all can strive towards, and with every single step, it's like you have one less straitjacket holding you small. You get bigger, 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 and you connect with people while being more and more of yourself. With the whole pandemic situation, it became even more clear that the internet is our future. And the internet gives us the opportunity to connect with people who we share similar interests with. It's not about who lives in your neighborhood. It's not about who's at your workplace. You can define what circle you want to engage yourself in, and you can even create your own circle. And trust me, you're not forcing anything upon anybody. You're not waiting for others to like you. You're doing that which makes you like yourself. And when you do that, you're less and less likely to look outside for validation or for any kind of feedback. You're going your way and you're creating so much joy and so much pride for who you are becoming. That will be the main achievement here. And in the end, you're going to win. If you don't stop, if you continue to grow in your direction, if you continue to overcome your fears, you will expand. And with every single time, you feel more alive and you feel more successful in your life. Because it's not about looking great on paper. It's not about, are you going to have that position at your job? Or are you going to have I don't know how many likes on a post? You're not going to care about this because you know that you're growing into your own best self. There's nothing like it, and I believe the series, The Queen's Gambit, shows it really, really well. Yes, there will be hard times. Yes, there will be times when you will question, why did I start doing this? But at the same time, there is no way back. Because I'm committed to being myself. And once you open the next layer, you never want to go back. You wouldn't even know how to. It's like learning a truth that you cannot unlearn anymore. Guys, I know you can do this. Go and get your INFJ epic life. Remember, if you want my help with this process, then work with me privately or sign up to the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list. All the information you find below. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on INFJ Escaping the Matrix. Like always, guys, I wish you a wonderful day, a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.